The Locker, short story.
Some people live in a world full of void. Some people live in a world full of noise. As for me, well, my world is quite different. Mixed between every change of dimension. Chaos. The locker. The locker that I will never forget. I had just gotten out of the hospital. My cast was officially off, and I was up and ready for school before my mom was. I had to look fabulous after all. It was the day before graduation. My last day to walk the halls full of lockers slamming and hearing, "Oh, I can't wait to get out of here," by multiple students. I didn't feel that way. This was a reflective part of my life. The part of my life where I learned, cried, screamed, fell in love, got my heart broken, and moved on. My grades started at an F and went up to an A+. That's how life is. You start at the bottom and work your way up. You learn to love yourself. And here I am, looking around at people who didn't get that chance. We live in a world where anything can happen at any given time. Some people didn't even get the chance to live to see this day. As I was walking to my locker, I stopped and thought of what I last said. Life is too short to hate anyone. I wonder if anyone who had my locker throughout these years had been through something to which they had to have a memorial locker instead. I had a flashback to freshman year, to which people called my locker the cursed locker. I'm still not sure why, or I wasn't, until I tried to open my locker and it was jammed. What in the breadsticks is happening? Open! I kept trying to get it open, but it wasn't happening and class was already starting. The hallways were as clear as if the school was a ghost town. Finally, it opened, and as soon as it opened, letters started flying out of the locker and passed by me.
Help me! Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't do this on my own!
I'm trapped! I give up.
Letter by letter passed by me, and as I went to pick up the last one, I was being sucked into my locker, and I screamed loudly as I felt myself drop. This is a locker, not an elevator! I braced myself as I landed and looked around only to see the people who wrote the letters, gasping as a shadow headed towards me. Where am I? The shadow walked over to me slowly, making me take a step back with how close he got to me.
Hello there, Roxy.
I gasped, not only afraid, but also confused. And how do you know my name? I heard a slight laugh.
Don't worry about it. We have more important business to attend to. You're underneath the school, and all these people share a familiar locker. Does locker number 25 sound familiar to you?
All of these people had my locker.
There are numbers on all the letters, and you have to label the person by their stories on their letters.
And what's the point of this game?
All 13 of us have stories and deserve to rest peacefully. That's the only way you're going to get back to school.
I nodded and looked around at all of these young lives. I looked at the first letter and began to read the story out loud. Hello, it's me. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I wish that I would have changed my mind last minute. I wish that I wouldn't have let the bullies get to me. I was only 15 and at my third school, being called unimaginable names, feeling as if I was no one. I needed someone to help me. I can't have that now. I didn't have that then. I wish that I wouldn't have done this. I wish that I would have given myself a chance to get married and have children, a family for my mom and dad to love. Now I'm here because of one mistake. Now you're here. Help me. Help me. Please help me. I finished reading the letters with tears falling down as I looked around at all 13 before I made eye contact with one girl in particular. She looked numb, yet full of regret. I hugged her and she started crying in my arms.
I just wasn't strong enough.
To this day, you inspire multiple people not to give up. Like you were trying to tell yourself, you can't change the past. You can't go back to it. Just know that what your parents would want is for you to rest peacefully. The girl that I previously held on to slowly faded away in my arms. I looked at the 12 people left, story after story, disappearance after disappearance. And I found the last remaining one, Shadow. Dear Roxy, I am sure that you are wondering how I know your name. Place the number on me. I walked over to Shadow and placed the number 13 on him. He slowly turned into a person, someone I knew very well, and I teared up. Grandpa? He smiled at me and hugged me tightly before speaking to me.
I know you've been grieving and struggling ever since you were young, and now you're about to graduate. So I just wanted to let you know, hold on to those memories, but it's okay to let me go. I watched you help others rest in peace. But I wanted to let you hear all these stories, to remember to be thankful of your life and to keep fighting. You're not weak, you're strong. Never forget that. And just remember the memories of us watching television together and making jokes at each other. We both need peace. So it's okay to let me go. Just remember me when you do.
I started sobbing as I hugged him and thanked him for the time that he's been here for me before he dissolved and peacefully went away, and I was back in the school. I walked to class with my books and thought to myself, I may have missed a part of class, but I missed my grandfather more. 7 years later, and now, every single day, 13 students are remembered at Locker 25 on May 11th. The cursed locker is now known as the Memorial Locker. I placed pictures of us on the locker and placed his favorite flowers, gladiolus, down at the foot of the locker before smiling and taping a letter that I wrote from myself to him. Rest peacefully. I'm still fighting at the age of 25. I love you, Gramps. Love, Roxy.